About to hit you everywhere but under your feet with this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Like I always tell y'all, no bias talk, no racism on this channel at all. We just give you the fair square of everything, about the sport of boxing, in my opinion. And we got to talk about some fights that then came on tonight. We got to talk about Zhang versus Joyce. We got to talk about Richard Hitchins, and then, it's, of course, a lot of fights. I don't really pay attention to them. I go off the names, but the main key fights, I got to talk about a little bit. And, I seen the highlights of Zhang. I didn't watch the fight, y'all, but I seen the highlights of one fight, and then I'm going to talk about the other one, what I feel. But with Zhang versus Joyce, Joe Joyce, man. When I watch Joe Joyce, I'm going to be real with y'all. When I watch Joe Joyce, it make me wonder, how the hell did he ever get in boxing? And that's not to knock him. Respect to Joe Joyce for giving us entertainment, risking his life, to get in that boxing ring. It take a real man to get in that ring. But to see how Joe Joyce has no athleticism, he has no speed, no footwork, no nothing. So you got to give him his respect for even getting in the ring and boxing. But I'm wondering, did Joe Joyce start boxing because he wasn't good he ain't got no athleticism? It's obvious he can't play basketball. It's obvious he wouldn't have been a good football player. And it's, to me, not to disrespect him, he shouldn't be boxing, man. Joe Joyce, to me, he could beat low caliber competition, like it ain't nothing. I'm still wondering how Daniel Du Bois ought to be real mad at himself, from watching and seeing how Joe Joyce moves and operates in the ring, and you went out there and you lost to somebody who's slow. This shows a lot about, Daniel Du Bois, in my opinion. But Joe Joyce, man, it's like he like slow moving, he's stiff, to me, no real boxing ability without the jab. He got a good jab. He gonna always come. But the Juggernaut looked like Wolverine was out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? And to be serious about it, I always tell y'all, in my opinion, these fighters, they have these people behind them, these trainers, and I don't think these folks really be caring about these people, because once you lose a fight, to me, I ain't saying you necessarily got to get new trainers, but you ought to go in and you ought to see if your trainer is at least looking and trying to figure out ways to help you better yourself in the ring. Because to me, it looked like he came right back in being the same fighter once again. And, I don't like to see that, but these are the people that they paying their hard-earned money to, getting percents off them. Did y'all go back in the gym and then, study about their left hand? Y'all didn't, cause the dude came back out there and knocked you out this time. So it's obvious what y'all don't watch tape, because this is a new thing in boxing now where fighters like, I don't watch tape with my opponents. Why wouldn't you want to watch tape of your opponents to know what they're going to do? I mean, was it his trainer don't watch tape? Nothing. They ain't change up nothing. Joe Joyce out there just getting whooped on from the highlights. You know what I'm saying? Then he knocked Joe Joyce flat out, man. You know what I'm saying? And, I ain't about being funny about it, because, at the end of the day, these dudes, like I said, they risk their life. It take a real man to get in that boxing ring. But, I don't think Joe Joyce need to box no more. I'm just going to be real with you. I could see him boxing low-level competition, still getting him some money, but going up in the ranks, fighting a Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder or Andy Ruiz, you know what I'm saying? That ain't what's up for him. I never like to say it, but I don't think Joe Joyce will ever be a champion. And I think this is probably a wake-up call for him that, hey, bro, you need to get out the sport. And I ain't saying that to bash him. I'm just saying Joe Joyce just ain't got it. He just ain't got it. He got zero athleticism. He's slow. You know what I'm saying? I give him his credit for coming forward and being a strong fighter that he is. But he ain't gonna beat them top-notch heavyweights fighting like that, man. He gotta get some more people behind him or something. Man, these people be some that watching these dudes go out there risking their life, and they, oh, Joe, you're looking good, Joe. You're looking good in camp, Joe. And y'all ain't changed nothing or created no new game plan or nothing from the way it looked, and y'all just send them out there and get them knocked out. Me personally, if I was one of his loved ones or something, I'd be like, hey, Joe, either you going to stop or you going to get somebody who's going to really teach you something. You need to work on footwork. You need to work on defense. It's a lot you need to work on before you go back out there. This was from somebody who should love Joe Joyce and a real trainer who care about him. You know what I'm saying? This is what's supposed to be going on. I could see him staying with the people who coach him or whatever after his first loss. I could see him doing that. But after this loss, it's time to change up, bro. And I know loyalty is everything. Like they say in boxing, once a fighter loses, they always gonna blame the trainer. You can't help but blame the trainer this time. I mean, Joe Joyce. I know you people, you can't blame the trainer, but how do you send him back out there like that? I would have postponed the fight. I would say, no, we ain't fighting him right now. We got to get better prepared. Joe ain't looking how I want him to look. Something before I send my fighter, somebody who I'm making money off of, who paying me to make sure that they come out victorious. I'm not going to let you go back out there like that. No, either you show me something or I don't want to work with you no more. You got to show me something during this training camp. You got to show me some head movement. You got to show me some adjustment, something. But I'm not going to let you go back out there for my little 10% and let you watch you get knocked out. And that's just my thing on that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Joe Joyce. Shout out to the guy Zhang, for coming out being victorious. One thing about Zhang, I would like to see him fight. I like to see him fight either Andy Ruiz or Usyk. I think Zhang will give Usyk hell. For one, he's southpaw. I know that Usyk loves, them orthodox fighters so he could keep jumping to their left hand on their left side. I like to see what Usyk will do when he will have to adapt to a southpaw, because I don't think he's going to be able to jump to the weak hand of the opponent unless he going around, circling around. But I'd like to see him versus Zhang, in my opinion. Zhang, they said Zhang was talking a lot of trash, and Zhang came out there and proved himself. And, I'd like to see him move on up and see what he's capable of against bigger and better heavyweights. And see, he got cleaned up. What's up, Easy? What's up with you, brother? Kobe Reviews Podcast. Did you think Hitchins' performance was boxing? Unfortunately, I didn't watch the fight. I went out tonight. I didn't watch the fight. But I will talk about what I thought about the fight. I knew Hitchins was going to win just from the fact that Zepeda he has no guard. He keeps his hands down. I did notice this about Zepeda, though. Sometimes he will switch, stances. He will go from orthodox and he will go from southpaw, which made me wonder, which I supposed to make this video earlier if I went out, but which made me wonder, is he really even a southpaw? Because I seen in one particular fight, if y'all go check, he did switch stances and fight from an orthodox stance. So I was kind of a little worried about that for Hitchins, because I was like, that would be a good game plan, if he actually can switch stances like that, And a fighter like Hitchins, you need to switch up something anyway. But for me watching him keeping his hands down in most of his fights, even in the Regis Prograis fight, he keeps his hands down a lot. And I noticed that when Hitchins fights southpaws, he throws the jab and keeps moving around, stepping around to the side on them. And I was like, he gonna kill Jose Zepeda with that. Now, I ain't even watched the fight, and I'm sure y'all probably seen him doing this. That Hitchins was throwing the jab and stepping over to his left and tripping jabbing on him. I'm sure he did that. I was thinking that Zepeda really only chance was probably trying to go to his body early, slow down Hitchins. But Hitchins is a dog. I mean, his name Hitchins. I don't know why we call him Hitchins. His name Richardson Hitchins. That's why I guess I put his son on there. But Richardson is a dog. Richards is a dog, man. That boy got skills to pay the bills. I thought, I had to think about it and watch, and I looked at the competition he fought. He fought guys with good, went with more wins than losses. They really stepping him up and challenging him as a fighter. So when I seen that, I said, okay, he probably got a shot against Zepeda. I was more worried about Zepeda experience. But I knew that Richard Hitchins was going to come out on top because of his skill set. And Richard Hitchins, from what they saying, he put out a master class, or he did the job that was necessary to win. One thing I'm wondering about Richard Hitchins, I don't know what them belts is wrapped around him. Somebody gonna have to tell me about that, because I know he ain't won no championship, but I guess he already got some belts and stuff. And I would love to see Richard Hitchins get the possibility of fighting Devin Haney or Regis Prograis next. I think he'll do a great job. I think he'll beat Devin Haney. I think Hitchins will beat Devin Haney. He has an orthodox style like Devin Haney, but he has the defensive movement of a Shakur Stevenson. I look at him like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney combined. A lot of people may not agree with that with me, but he's a bad boy, and only 16-0, and then he go and do what they say did a good job against Zepeda. Basically shut him out. So I'd like to see what he can do against the big names out there, like the Teofimo Lopez's, Josh Taylor's. I'd like to see him with a little bit more size on him though. But right now, the boy out there looking good, man. I've never really paid attention to Hitchins. I see him, talking and be around Tank and them, or, on videos and certain things with Tank and them, but I never thought, to check him out until I seen his Zepeda fight. So I was like, this is a young dude, he do a lot of, talking, I ain't never really checked him out. Let me look at him. When I saw that boy fight, that boy good. Hitchins is good. You know what I'm saying? I like to see him against, other big name fighters at 140. We got Gary Antoine Russell. It's a lot of names out there. Jose Ramirez. It's a lot of people he could fight. But like he said, he willing to take on anybody. So I hope he keep that a buck. I hope he really saying he want to go at some names. And I'd like to see more Richardson. I don't know, Richardson. I'd like to see more of him. He's a talented fighter. He will beat up Usyk, KO easy. I have to see it though. I like to see Zhang versus Usyk. I don't know why that fight was the first one came to my mind, but for some reason, as I seen, how he was doing Joe Joyce, and he a southpaw. It seemed like he was smart. He got some IQ. Skill set in him. I like to see him versus Usyk. But Usyk, it's like we already know now the pedigree. Not the pedigree, but the blueprint to be Usyk. Now we already know what's gonna happen with that. Anybody who fight Usyk, just go to his body and make sure that his trunks ain't high. For the bell even ring, tell the referee, hey, his trunks too high. I don't want to get no disqualified or nothing, because I already know how y'all do. And shout out to Blue Blood Sports. Because he showed the video of where the same referee who was helping Usyk in the fight before Du Bois, he did the same thing in the fight before Du Bois fight. In actuality, Du Bois is supposed to be champion. He would have had a better chance of trying to get that fight, recall, if he would have stayed in the fight. But in my opinion, no disrespect to Daniel Du Bois, he's a quitter. To me, he just ain't got that heart of a warrior in him. I know punches hurt, but he just, every time he go down on his knee and he can't get up, stuff, come on, man. You shouldn't even be sitting there crying about the fact that you really won but lost the fight, because how can they recall a fight when you lost, when you gave up? Now, if you would have went 12 rounds with Usyk, then yeah, they could have probably said, well, hey, we need to overturn this. But they can't overturn something and you get beat up later on and lose later on in the rounds and quit. So, even though I feel he did won, Usyk still walks away with that victory, y'all. Because me as a judge, or me as some commissioner or something over boxing, I wouldn't give it to him. And it's clear as day, he knocked out Usyk with a body shot. That's clear as day. But I would have to tell him, if you would have continued on throughout the fight, we would overturn that. But we can't overturn nothing and you just sit down on your knee, don't want to get up like you did in your last fight. We can't do that. So I'm sorry, but you just gonna have to wait back in line again. Hitchins got no killer instinct. I didn't watch the fight to see. I've seen other opponents where he had killer instincts, but he going up in the ranks now, fighting better competition. And he said that from the highlights that I heard, he said that, he felt Zepeda's power from the jump. And I seen Zepeda. Zepeda don't even look like he hit that hard. But I done seen him punch dudes and they start running. So, you know what I'm saying? He said he felt this power from the beginning of the first round. So he said it was times where he knew he hurt him, but he just didn't want to jump in there on him because he might be taking a risk. He said he kept his poker face on. He didn't let him know he was hurt. So, he was just being smart, and not just jumping in there because, Zepeda probably would have dropped him or knocked him out. So, I wouldn't say he don't have killer instinct. I'll just say from that fight, he realized what he was going against and he didn't want to take no risk of getting caught, going against a veteran fighter like that. But, much respect to your opinion, you know what I'm saying? Let me see, Boxing Magic, what you say? They both suck. Zepeda is washed and Hitchins did nothing. Not sure what was the point. The fight, this pathetic fight. Well, I have to watch it. Like I told you, I went out, I didn't see the fight. I have to look at it, but Hitchins to me, what I'm saying, from what I've seen him do with other opponents, his timing, counter punching, that boy something, he ain't nothing to play with. Like I said, I love to see him fight Shakur Steve. Well, Shakur Stevenson ain't at 140. But I like to see him fight Devin Haney, Regis Prograis, all the top line guys up there. I think I think Hitchins stands a chance against them. I'm not saying he'll beat everybody, but in my opinion, he'll beat Devin Haney. I think he'll beat Devin Haney. If him and Haney fight, I think Richardson would beat Devin Haney. That's just my opinion. Hold on, was just swinging through, bro. I gotta watch some highlights. Saw Joyce get creased though. Yeah, Joe. Shout out to Joe. Like I said, Joe gotta get a new team, man. Joe gotta get a new team. He gotta go find somebody, to step his game up real bad. Joe Joyce is out there looking better than Wilder. Deontay Wilder as a fighter. That's just my opinion. He out there looking bad, man. He needs somebody really there in his corner gonna train him, head movement, technique. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna work on your speed. He just still. I see why they call him the juggernaut. He just still. I know hating on him or nothing. I like Joe Joyce. You know what I'm saying? But he just don't look like he got it, and maybe he'll have it if he leaves the people that's with him behind. That's just the way I feel about it. Did you see Frank Martin's response to why he turned down the fight? No, I haven't seen the response of why he turned down the fight. The only thing I keep hearing is that he said he didn't ask for half or whatever. But what did he say though? Please tell me what he said on why he didn't take the fight. Which it ain't no excuse to me on why he didn't take the fight, because this the thing here. What's his name? Edwin Santos. He probably got the same money that they gave was gonna give Frank Martin. He didn't turn it down. So whatever excuse Frank Martin come up with and talk about, to me ain't enough for me. This was gonna be your biggest payday. You was gonna get a shot at the WBC title. You was talking trash about what Shakur needed to take and what Shakur didn't take this, and you would have took that. This was your opportunity to become the WBC champion of the world, and you didn't take it. There is no excuse for me. Whatever excuse Frank Martin could come up with ain't valid enough for me to just say, oh, he didn't duck. You ducked. You most definitely ducked. Because you think they paying, okay, look at it like this. Edwin Santos and Frank Martin is name-wise in the sport of boxing is damn near on the same level. So you think they pay Edwin Santos more? A fighter who was already willing and ready to say been saying he wanted to fight Shakur Stevenson? Hell no, they called that boy and offered him the same thing, and he said, hell yeah, I will fight him. So there's nothing Frank Martin could say on why he didn't take that fight. He didn't want to fight. That's just what it is. It ain't no way around it. But, like I said, shout out to both fighters. Shout out to all the fighters that fought tonight. I didn't see all the fights. I didn't watch them tonight, but I will be looking at the highlights. I just wanted to get on because I got some new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Like I tell y'all, you see in the videos, no bias talk, no racism over here. I'm always keep it a buck. I ain't a fan of no man. Okay, I don't care who they is. If they lost, they lost. And whatever they do wrong, in my opinion, I'm going to let y'all know about it. So... I just, had to get on here, what I'm saying, because I ain't been on in a minute. And I wanted to go, tell y'all for once, for my new subscribers, thank y'all. And, talk about the fight a little bit. But I got to check out the highlights or something of Zepeda versus Hitchins, and I'll come back on when we talking tomorrow or whatever, and I'll give my opinion of that. But I think, like I said, Hitchins he's a fighter, man. I'd like to see him move up and fight not move up out the weight class, but move up with bigger names, fight the Teofimo Lopez, the Josh Taylors, the Jose Ramirez's, fighters of that nature, just to see, where you're at. But I was kind of worried about him fighting Zepeda, and I think he needs a little bit more experience, not to fight Devin Haney, but against certain fighters like Josh Taylor, him and Tio a dog. I'm just gonna say that. When I seen Teofimo Lopez fight Josh Taylor, I became a fan. He proved me wrong. He showed me you can't count Teofimo Lopez out, and that when Tio focus, he's a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to seeing who Teofimo Lopez fight next. I'm waiting on that real bad. I don't see why, a lot of fighters are not challenging him. A lot of fighters ain't mentioning Teofimo Lopez's name, especially since that Josh Taylor victory. And, I don't know what, before I get off, I got to talk about Mr. Rehydration Clause Tank. I don't know who he going to be fighting. I'd love to see him step up and fight anybody. And, we know it's crazy. I got to say this before I get off our Tank. I looked at the rankings of 135, and even though Tank got the WBA belt, Tank is not ranked up under the WBC, the IBF, or the WBO. I just want y'all to know he ain't ranked up under no other sanctioning bodies. And I'm like, how is he not ranked for, the WBC or the IBF? There must be a way for him, to keep ducking and not fighting real fighters. No, don't put me on WBC. Don't put me on the IBO. No, I ain't worried about that. I sell tickets. But like I told y'all before, if he don't give us a good fight or a good opponent this time around, don't support it. Because the only reason y'all got the Ryan Garcia fight is because Showtime came and told him, we can't keep paying for these Hector Garcias. We can't keep paying for these. See, they tell y'all that true enough, Tank put butts in the seats and all that. But he putting butts in the seats with names that don't nobody want to see. And Showtime want that money. Showtime trying to get paid. You see what I'm saying? It ain't no hate on Tank. A lot of people go, oh, you bashing, you hating on. Ain't nobody hating on Tank. We just want to see the man out there fight somebody for real without a rehydration clause. Without a rehydration clause. That's all. It ain't no hating on him. He a black man getting money. I salute him. Just fight somebody decent, bro. Fight somebody black. Please fight somebody black. You ain't fought a black fighter yet. Not one. Not one. You know what I'm saying? And, it's getting tiring with him. And now, like I said in my last video, he is the A-side at 135 now because he sells the most tickets. But if Devin was there, he wouldn't be there. If Devin was still at 135, I don't know why people think that he would be over Tank. He would be over Devin Haney and he'd be the A-side. Selling tickets ain't got nothing to do with the hardware. Devin Haney had the hardware, the real belts. Not the fake belts, the real belts. And we can't say that. No, he wouldn't. If he felt like he could beat him, then why did he do it? If he felt like he can beat Ryan Garcia, remember Tank made 140 himself before. When he fought Mario Barrios, another fighter, he made take a rehydration clause. You remember Mario Barrios exposed him too. And say that he made him take a rehydration clause. But he done fought at that weight before. So if Tank really could beat him and he was confident about that, why did he do that? Yeah. Yeah. I owe the IRS 93. Hey, well, before you pay the IRS all that money, send something to my cash out. Let the IRS wait for a minute. You know what I'm saying? If you owe them 936K out with $1 million, then hey, before you pay them, go to Easy Work Cash App, go to About, and support the channel. And you're going to get your blessing. And see, the IRS might call you and say you might not have to pay them. So send something to me first, get you a blessing, and then you probably ain't going to have to get them. Tank ducked the prime Loma. Yeah, Tank ducked everybody. Tevin Farmer, Lomachenko. That's what Tank do. Mr. Rehydration Clause don't want to fight nobody. He don't want to do nothing. He don't want to get in the ring, do nothing with nobody. You think Roy greater than Floyd in the all-time list? Roy Jones been undisputed before, right? So yeah. I mean, them losses though hurt Roy Jones' legacy though. Them losses, they hurt his legacy. But if he was undisputed, because a lot of people gonna say, the money and this and that and 50-0, that, you know what I'm saying? Roy Jones was making money too. If he was undisputed, you gotta put. If he was undisputed, which I think Roy Jones, I don't like to make up lies but if Roy Jones was undisputed, he's already above Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather can't go above no fighter that's been undisputed. That could never happen. I don't care what nobody say, how you try to push it with that 50-0, I don't care. He can never go over a fighter that was undisputed. Y'all be giving him all that credit because his skill set, how he looked in the ring, and he made the most money. That ain't got nothing to do with legacy. Ain't nobody going in the Hall of Fame of what they made. Ain't nobody going to Hall of Fame off that. You can never put Floyd Mayweather over any fighter in history that has been undisputed. I don't care. That's my opinion. And people may not like it, but that's how I feel. I mean, Canelo did it and nobody said nothing. Canelo did what? Canelo ain't got nothing to do with Tank. Canelo ain't got nothing to do with Tank. I was talking about Tank, not Canelo. I was talking about Tank, not Canelo. I ain't talking about Canelo Alvarez. I was talking about Gervonta Tank Davis, Mr. Rehydration Clause. That's what I was talking about. Would you get in the ring against Blue Blood? If they'll pay me a check, I'll get in a big check. I'll get in the ring with anybody got a YouTube channel. If they'll pay me $100,000, I'll get in. And I'm talking about, I want mine cash. I already want the taxes out of it and everything. I want a bag with $100,000. I'll fight any YouTube dude there is out there. And I ain't playing. But I ain't got nothing against that, man. You know what I'm saying? But if they offer me up some bread, I'm fighting anybody. Tank on hush mode right now. Yeah, Tank on hush mode right now. He out there in the field picking cherries. Boop. He got his overalls on. He in the garden. Boop. Let me see. Now he a little bit too tough. No, I don't want to fight him. Let me go over here. No, I don't want to fight him. He black. He a black fighter. I don't want to fight him. No. Somebody say, go on fight Shakur Stevenson and get a big payday. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah. If Roy retired after the Tarver fight, he would have been a GOAT. I mean, y'all got to understand, all fighters are GOATs. You know what I'm saying? All them are legends. All of them going to be remembered for what they've done in the sport of boxing. But, I used to praise Floyd like that for his skill set. I used to say, oh, Floyd, the greatest of all time because he made the most money. That ain't got nothing to do with legacy, though. That when let me put it to you like this. Let's say the world ended tomorrow, right? And they had a list of all the great fighters, all the fighters who have ever boxed. To me, there is no way in hell you can put Floyd Mayweather above any fighter. You can't put Manny Pacquiao or Floyd above any fighter that has ever been undisputed. You can say he beat some people, like Canelo undisputed. You can say, yeah, Floyd beat Canelo, but legacy, the biggest accomplishment in boxing is undisputed, not going undefeated. Because people got to understand something. Most of the time when fighters go undefeated, they didn't fight everybody. So you can say, oh, Floyd, he left undefeated, but how many fights did Floyd duck? How many fights did Floyd avoid to be 50-0? Tank won't get credit for knocking out Loma, but who cares? We gonna hear Loma was too old. He wouldn't fight Loma right now. That's the thing, though. Tank won't fight Lomachenko right now. Do you think Jamal Charlo? Hell no, Jamal Charlo ain't got no chance. Hell no, he ain't got no chance. I don't know why people keep thinking that boy gonna win that fight. That boy is not finna win that fight against Canelo Alvarez. Hell no. No. Canelo ain't finna let that happen. Canelo ain't finna go out there and let no. First of all, y'all keep talking. This man is 2 divisions smaller than Canelo Alvarez. Canelo got a chin like a brick. He ain't finna knock out no Canelo Alvarez. Y'all can hang that up. That boy gonna beat the hell out of Jermell Charlo. I'm expecting a knockout, really. I'm expecting a knockout. I'm expecting Charlo to get knocked out. I'm just gonna be real with you. I ain't hating on him. Shout out to him. Black man got a lot of money. I love that house too, Charlo. I love that house. But when it comes to boxing, no. No. Jermell, not Jamal. If Canelo loses, he should retire. If Canelo loses, he should retire. No, he ain't gonna lose for one. He ain't gonna lose. But why retire when you the biggest paid fighter in boxing? Canelo got a whole Mexico behind him. Canelo could sell if he fought George Lopez, the comedian. Canelo would sell if he fought George Lopez, the comedian. Hell no, I wouldn't retire. Hell no, I wouldn't retire. I'll still fight. Even let's say he lose to Charlo, I'll still fight about 3 more times before I retire. If not 4. Hell no. Canelo make too much damn money. Hell no. Even if I was to lose to Charlo, no, I'm fighting 4 more times. I'm getting another $100 million and another $100 million. And shit, hell no, I won't retire. It's set up for Canelo to win. No, it ain't set up for Canelo to win, because if Charlo go out there and do a spectacular job and don't let Canelo get off on him, then it ain't never set up for nobody to win. That's the most great thing about boxing. One punch changes everything, and a knockout stops all payments. You could pay the judge, you could pay the referee, but if you knock them out, then that's all dead. That's the great thing about boxing. That's the beautiful thing about boxing. But that ain't gonna happen. Charlo gonna put up a good fight for the first 5-6 rounds. Then that weight gonna get on him. Walk around with that new weight for carrying that new weight, and Canelo gonna. I'm telling y'all now. I ain't saying Canelo gonna knock him out, but Charlo is not walking away with them belts. Yeah, we gonna see. We gonna see, brother. But hey, y'all, it's time for me to go and get off, man. I just want to get on here and talk with y'all for a minute. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, y'all, please hit your notification bells. You know what I'm saying? Share the videos as much as you can. Share the videos as much as you can. You know, and just stay tuned, man. I will be on tomorrow to talk more about the fights. And, you know, I got to see the highlights and stuff. But I just want to thank y'all for y'all support, man. And please stay tuned to the channel. This your boy Easy Work. I'm out.